This is the Embodied Performance Podcast, episode 31. I'm Nick Markey of Beach Barbell Physical Therapy and Performance and Strength Training in Wilmington, North Carolina. We are building out our gym over the next few weeks. If you're interested in joining, please check out beachbarbell.com for details. We are running a launch promo and charity drive until November 1st. Again, check beachbarbell.com for more details. Thank you. Well, Friday introduced a Fun Friday, and I talked about how I'm going to have a different type of segment each week. So Monday, I think I'll stick with a tried and true Monday motivation, and I'll continue to talk of things of different motivational strategies or disciplinary strategies to help you with your behavior changes and trying to change your habits to more healthy, positive life, if that's what you want. So I think I'll start this first Monday motivation with a recap of motivational strategies, more of let's do a 10,000 foot view. So when you are living a certain way, certain habits, certain routines, you groove into that way. So I think of it just like if anyone knows skiing or snowboarding, you know, there's different kind of tracks and grooves in the snow that oftentimes you kind of end up following into, because it's very easy to just follow those grooves. So you can think of your behaviors and habits like that. You get this deeper and deeper set of grooves of the way you do things. And it also starts to change over time who you think you are and, you know, what you're capable of. So, which further reinforces staying in those grooves and getting deeper, and makes getting out of those grooves harder and maybe more uncomfortable, because you start to believe, you know, who you are is, you know, what you're fitting into those grooves. So kind of the 10,000 foot view would be, well, who am I and who do I want to be? So say that your diet's not so great, you don't really exercise, your sleep is so-so, you kind of have a stressful life, or maybe you don't cope with stress well. So kind of the main lifestyle factors you would look at. You say that for some reason you get a change of heart. You know, you want to live a different way. You want to be someone else. So the first thing you should do is start seeing yourself as that person. So imagine year or 2 or 3 years, and imagine that you're totally successful in who you want to be. So then, you know, everything's gone right. Let's say, you know, you did everything right leading up to that point, and, you know, your nutrition's a ton, you know, is great. You're exercising regularly. You're coping with stress a lot better, and you're sleeping a whole lot better. So overall, everything you're doing is great. So you have to say, okay, and that is who I want to be and where I want to be. So I am that person right now. So even though you may not be that person on the outside yet, you are now that person on the inside. So once you set that goal, that year, 2, 3 year goal, whatever it is, you are now that person. And so everything you do now, you have to conform to that person. So when you have a choice between A and B, and A is a healthy maybe option and B is a not so healthy option, well, you turn on to that inside person and say, well, what would the healthy person that I am choose? And it's a no-brainer, which one you choose. That doesn't mean it's necessarily easy to choose, because you still have those grooves. But this could give you some ammo to help you fight off those more unhealthy choices, because most of us don't want to be liars or fakers or anything like that. So you reestablish who you are, and you hold yourself up to that. You don't lie to that inner person, in a way. And it may even be helpful to tell some people, this is my 1, 2, 3 year goal, and this is who I am. I'm going to be this healthy person, or I am this healthy person who, gets great sleep and eats well and manages stress well and exercises regularly. Tell everyone that, so that they can also help you hold yourself to that person you are. So that's the 10,000 foot view. Where do you want to be, and who you want to be, and now adopting that person immediately, right in the beginning, saying, that's who I am. The next step, you've now become that person. That's who you are. You're that healthy person. The next step would be charting out maybe a roadmap, maybe a broad outline first. So, logistically, what is a healthy person doing? What is how often are they exercising? How often, what kind of food are they eating? And, how are they managing stress? And how many hours are they sleeping? That kind of thing. So just write out exactly what it would be, so say that, the healthy person will say sleeps 8 hours. Okay. So I'm sleeping 8 hours. Okay. And the healthy person is lifting weights 3 times a week and doing cardio 3 or 4 times a week. Okay. The healthy person is eating, at least 3 servings of fruit and vegetables a day, reaching the, fiber, minimum fiber, maybe 20 to 30 grams of fiber, something like that. You can look up what works for you, and getting at least, we'll say half 0.5 per grams of protein per body weight. So, and you can play with those numbers, but let's just use that as a simple outline. And then with stress, they are focusing on the things that they can actually control, like some of these lifestyle factors, and letting things go. So they're not getting in arguments. They're complimenting people. If there is confrontation, they address it constructively, and if they can't, they tell the person, I'm sorry, this is just not the right time to talk about this kind of stuff. Let's set a time to discuss these when we're a little bit cooler. They're trying to mitigate the negative issues. Well, not like avoiding them, just trying to manage them more appropriately and take care of the things in a more reasonable manner. So we'll say that's the rough outline. And then you say, okay, well, I am that healthy person. I'm not quite fully there with my habits just yet, but I am a healthy person. So where can I start? What am I doing exactly right now? And then you just list out the same lifestyle factors and, what are the habits now? And it might be a good idea to write all this down, literally write down, that 1, 2, 3 year goal. And also, like I'm saying, write down your, what the habits are that this healthy person in the future does. as opposed to what you, this healthy person, that's doing right now. And then you've got a point A and a point B. You got the beginning point and the end point. And you can basically just draw some stairs to that end point. And you could, along each step, make it whatever interval seems reasonable to you. I would say the easier the interval is, the better. If you're giving yourself some wiggle room, maybe 4 weeks, I will, do this little bit, address each part just a little bit, and then, the next 4 weeks I'll address it a little further, and maybe you could maybe map out like the first few months and then, readjust, the intervals or whatever as you see fit, but probably just map out the first few months along that ladder, and then you'll have a good place to start. So to start with, trying to change to those more healthy habits or way of life, 10,000 foot view, adopt that person you're going to be after you set your goal. This is who I am now. And then chart your beginning to end point of, where you are now and then where you want to be. And then in between that, you'll have the intervals. Like I said, I would make them as easy as possible to help you with the behavior change as easy as possible. And then from there, you just gradually work at it. And, you don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake or you backslide. You will probably backslide. It's inevitable, but that's okay. You just say, look, I'm in this for the long haul. If I make a mistake, I'll reflect on it and then I'll move on. And then over time, you start grooving a new way of life, and you become that. You are that healthy person, but you start displaying the habits and routines of that. All right, so I think that'll wrap up today's Monday motivation. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I think I'll maybe do Technique Tuesday, where I'll just talk about some technique related to maybe exercise or stress or something of that nature, to help, again, with the things where our themes of what we talk about here, trying to figure out ways to be a little healthier, improve our performance in just daily life and all that good stuff. Again, I'm Nick Markey, Beach Barbell Physical Therapy and Strength Training, Wilmington, North Carolina. Please reach out to me if you need anything. You could check out beachbarbell.com for our launch promo and charity drive until November 1st. And we are currently building out our gym. We're going to be by Henry's and Perry's in that Barclay Commons Shopping Center. So you can stop by. There's not a whole lot there yet, but like I said, we'll be building it out, painting it, all that good stuff. All right. Have a good day. Bye.